Shabbat shalom to everybody out there. Shabbat shalom, Rabbi Marantz.
Cantor Friedman, hello, good morning. Shabbat shalom to you, Leah Jones. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom to one and all. It is really good to see you. Hope you stayed the course with us last night. Our virtual village was filled with amazing people of faith from all sorts of different avenues, and we gathered to confront prejudice and police violence and gun violence and a world that needs healing, a bleeding soul of a nation that needs repair. And so we've kicked off our Shabbat well, and today is perhaps a little more low key, but we're still driven by these powerful responsibilities ahead of us, responsibilities for justice and tikkun and chesed. And so Cantor, it's good to be here with you and Leah with you. And we're here in our virtual village ready to pray and continue a beautiful Shabbat. Shabbat shalom to one and all.
Shabbat shalom, Rabbi.
Shalom. Cantor Friedman, of course, the beautiful words to this prophetic hope that we can not study war are so important for us now. These prophetic words, this prophetic vision charges us not only to refrain from studying war, but to beat swords into plowshares and spears into pruning hooks. And it's a great way to look at our aspirations and our responsibilities ahead as we seek to minimize gun violence, as we seek to create better ways of affecting law enforcement, as we find better ways to treat each other like we should, like we're created in God's image. We have to find ways to minimize the violence that besets our planet. Not just our city, not just our nation, but our planet. So I'm glad we woke up today to struggle forward, pay kindness onward. And that is something to be truly grateful for. And so we capture that gratitude in the Modeh Ani or Moda Ani. Modeh ani lefanecha, elecha v'kaya, shechezata minishmati b'chemla, Rabba emunatecha. Rabba emunatecha.
I think I'm going to lower this, Rabbi. I might not be as awake as I think, or my voice might not be as awake as I think, but that's felt kind of high. Well, I like that better. tohu, ma tohu, Yaakov, Mishkelotah Yisrael, ma tohu, ma tohu, Yaakov, Mishkelotah Yisrael. Mishkelotah
Cantor, look on the bright side. It's a good thing that the Zoom is picking up all the notes, because we're not sure sometimes whether they pick up any of the notes. Zoom is a powerful tool, but it's not exactly designed for music. With all apologies,
right?
to our Zoom hosts, no need to pick on them, but I do feel like it's nice that we were able to hear crisply the notes. So
Yes, even when they're the wrong ones.
better than usual is what I'm saying. So it's all good. It's all good. Let us continue with our service.
So a series of brachot about the many miracles around us. And it should be said that I am grateful for all those who serve the country with honor and with caring, and to those who serve the country with ignorance and racist tropes. We're done. We're done with you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan l'sech v'bina, lahavhin ben yom uven laila. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, rokah haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin metadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten liya'ef koach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hama'avir shena me'enai, uduma me'afapai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sha'asani b'tselem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sha'asani bachorim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sha'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael bigvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah.
One thing that we're always ready to celebrate is the power of Shabbat to renew us and to restore us, and to give us a refreshed opportunity to understand just what a force for good we can be, and how important it is that we actualize that force inside of us. Because if we're going to convert the world as it is to the world that you described, Cantor, where there truly is no more racism, there's only anti-racism, there's no more violence and brutality in whatever ways it's rendered, we're going to have to work hard and faithfully according to the light of Torah. So thank God we have Torah. If we didn't, I'm not sure how we'd make our way. It would be a lot harder than it already is, right? So let us sing. Hallelujah. Here we go, everybody. Sing it out loud. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Ola Shema, hallelujah. Halle, hallelujah, Ola Shema, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. We go galloping right into the Baruch Hu. We rise in body and or spirit, and we pray. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. We pray. Baruch Hu et Adonai. Amevorach. Baruch Adonai. Hamevorach, Hamevorach, Leolam Vaed. Hamevorach, Hamevorach, Leolam Vaed. Cantor, we talked a lot about the very end of our service, Berach, which corresponds to the human knee and also is the root for Baruch, to bless, Levarech. And when we bow with a certain anava, with a certain humility, but we add to that also a certain kavod, a certain respect, not only for God, but for everyone else around us. And with that anava, with that humility, and with that kavod, with that respect, we also add chesed and rachmanut, kindness and compassion, ultimately empathy. We have to summon unusual empathy for others who feel hurt by acts of racism, for those who want to improve upon years and years of maybe neglect or standing silently or not being woke or whatever the case may be. We have to create space for growth and evolution That's hard. It's hard amidst tremendous anger. We have to also be empathetic in the face of this righteous rage. It's all part of the process to open our hearts. So bowing in humility, bowing in respect, and bowing with a sense of empathy built through compassion and chesed is an important process for us. And I just want to emphasize that it's a process. Prayer is a process. It's an activity that allows us to take this intentionality and move it forward. But we have to move it forward. Can't just say, okay, well, I prayed on it today and I'm done. We'll never get to where we want to go. We'll never build that world you brought to bear earlier. Have to work on it every single day, even if it's difficult, even if it seems impossible. It's given us too many reasons to sit out before. Let's not continue that. We continue with the Yotze Or. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzer or uvorei choshech, oseh shalom uvorei et hakol, hameir la'aretz v'la'arim alecha barachamim. Uvtuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reishit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai. Kulam b'chochma asita ma'al ha'aretz kinyanecha. Tiparach Adonai Eloheinu al shevach ma'aseh yadecha ve'al me'orei or she'asita yifarucha sela. Or chadash al tzion ta'ir v'nizkeh chulanu mehera le'oro. Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer Ham Orot.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Shem kavod mahuto leolam vaed. Shem kavod mahuto leolam vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha vehayu hadevarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ושננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Cantor Friedman, last night we preface our Micha Mocha with the entirety of Redemption Song, Bob Marley's incredible masterpiece. And one of the lines calls us to fulfill the book. When I hear that, I think of the Bible in its various manifestations. For me in particular, I think of our Tanakh, and I think of its prophetic power, and I think about how American prophets like Martin Luther King, like Malcolm X, who fought for human dignity and self-determination and freedom and equality, all of which we can appreciate, all of which we must appreciate even more, because as we mentioned last night, freedom is not always what we think it is, right? Depends on who we are. And what's free for one person may be far from it for another. And it's important for us to face that fact humbly so that we can ultimately fulfill the book. That is our job in life, is to fulfill the book that speaks of our freedom from Pharaoh, but doesn't leave it just as that. Our freedom ultimately is a freedom to fulfill the book and to live out the mitzvot, which remind us that we're all created in God's image, full of intrinsic worth, right? So if there are those on the margins of society who do not feel that freedom applies to them as it does to others of privilege, those who possess power, then our work is not done. We are not totally free until all are free, until all have access to freedom in the same way. So Micha Mocha is a powerful reminder for us to say thank you, God, for being so amazing and catapulting us to freedom, but ultimately for putting us in position to use our freedom as a force for good. That requires responsibility, day in and day out. Micha Mocha. Help me out, everybody. Micha Mocha, Bailim Adonai. Micha Mocha, Meda Bakodesh, Ora Tehilot, Osefele, Ora Tehilot, Osefele. Won't you help me sing? Won't you help me sing these songs of freedom? It's all we ever had. Redemption songs, these songs of freedom, redemption song.
We rise in either body or spirit for the Amidah. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agitehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Leah ve'Elohei Rachel Ha'el Haggadah Hagibor Ha'norah El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim Vekonei Ha'akol V'zocheh זוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מחכה לחיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיי, ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב היד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא הארץ כבודו. אדיר, אדירנו אדוני, אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני, ממקומו, 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 אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו, והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיהם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ונצח נצחים קדושך נקדיש. ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Oh, that's a sight for sore eyes, is it not? Take a moment for silent meditation.
Sim shalom, sim shalom, sim shalom, tova uvracha, chaim v'chesed v'ramim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amaha. Sim shalom. Oh, look, Rabbi, look at our Torahs.
I know. Cantor, before we begin, give everybody a chance to sort of take in this beautiful image of our own Kodesh, just to appreciate our sacred space, our primary sacred space, the one at 5959 online. I will say that building a Mikdash Me'at, building a little sanctuary in our respective homes, is also a precious opportunity. And I think we've become really good at doing such a sacred act. Building mishkanot that are in the shape of our homes is a beautiful thing because God dwells everywhere, even in our homes. But it is very nice and soothing, ultimately, to bear witness to the beautiful vistas inside our sacred space, whether it's in the chapel or here in the sanctuary, and specifically our own Kodesh. Makes me want to give thanksgiving. And so reading from Alden Salabi, a prayer of gratitude. Today is a gift, oh my God, to know your world, to receive your blessings. Rock of ages, your works surround us, daily designs of awe and wonder, daily guides to joy and service. Bless us all with hands of strength, hearts of courage, minds of understanding. Bless us with voices of praise, and might I add, effective voices of reproach that show that we are not silent, that show that we stand up against things that are wrong, but also of listening ears so that we are able to receive the righteous anger and the complexities and the confusions and the uncertainties and the certainties with a sense of receptivity and a sense that we're moving towards reconciliation. Bless us with such voices of praise and reproach, and ultimately lives of gratitude and days filled with hope and love. We still want a world of love and hope, faith and peace, as we talked about last night. So let's continue with Seder Kriyat HaTorah L'Shabbat.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamorach, Baruch Adonai Va'ed. Thank you, Rabbi. Baruch Adonai Rach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. So here it is, Rabbi. Look at this. We have the power to bless each other. Wouldn't the world be remarkable if we did that all the time? Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, daber el Haron ve'el banav lemor, ko tivarchu et bnei Yisrael, amor lahem. Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai Panav elecha v'chuneka, Yisa Adonai Panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. V'samu et shmi el bnei Yisrael v'ani avarchei. So Adonai said to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and to all the children, saying that this is how you should bless the children of Israel, saying to them, Adonai bless you and keep you. Adonai will deal graciously with you and kindly. God will lift up God's face to you and place upon you peace. Therefore, they will place my name on the children of Israel, and I will bless them. The blessing after. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Kol hakavod, Cantor Friedman. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God smile upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha. Shalom. May God's Spirit fill us and lift us, bring us to a place of shalom and shlemut, of peace and of wholeness.
Ken Yiratzon.
Kenya hi ratzon. Cantor, Chevre, so good to see you all here. Shabbat shalom to you, Leah Jones. We appreciate your presence here. We've had a powerful weekend with our Ekra neighbors and with our fellow practitioners of faith. And we have been trying to figure out how to create a voice for justice, a voice for compassion, a voice for empathy, a voice for meaningful change, a voice for effective rebuke, a voice that somehow spreads our big tent to be large enough to struggle together towards the directions we must take to heal our nation, to cauterize the wound, the bleeding wound to the soul of our nation. And so I find particular wisdom in this Birkat Kohanim. And I always smile when we come across prayers that we use over and over again in Torah. See them in their native space. That's true of this blessing, the Birkat Kohanim. It's true of other readings that we engage in. Of course, the Shema is probably the most notable, but we appeal to the prophetic writings. Lo Yisagoy is a prophetic writing. Ki Mitzion comes from outside of the Torah. So we have lots of places within our service that link us to our sacred scriptures and texts, which link us to the values, the enduring values for which we stand. So here, our parsha lays out the Birkat Kohanim, and in particular, Moshe Rabbeinu, our prophet, our teacher, teaches this blessing to his brother Aharon. And of course, what is Aharon's job? He is the Kohen Gadol. He is the high priest. And he's in charge of the rest of the priests who will be called to utter this blessing. So in ancient times, in the temple, the priest stood on a platform called a duchan and invoked the Birkat Kohanim, which is also something we call duchanan. Duchanan. To this day, just like the old days, just like ancient times, Kohen will wash his hands, sometimes remove his shoes and drape his head like so with a talit. And will raise his arms, and his fingers will form not the hand sign of Mr. Spock, although a lot of times we think of that. What Hebrew letter does this look like, more or less? A shin. So we form a shin, which reminds us of Shaddai. Who is Shaddai? God. So during this blessing, just like in the old days, the Kohen, the priest, or the person who's descended from the priest, that is, and the people receiving the blessing don't usually make eye contact. Although we have taught that there are many ways to do this duchanan, right? Including, just as Cantor said earlier, we can bless each other. Remember yesterday, I took a knee in protest, right? We can do the duchanan, we can do any prayers, basically, taking a knee as a sign of respect for God, as a sign of humility for the work ahead of us, as a sign of protest, as we mentioned last night, thanks to Rabbi Weinberg. But one thing is fairly certain is that we don't make much eye contact. Why? Because this helps minimize distractions. Now, I personally actually like making eye contact with you, not as a point of trying to distract you or anyone else for that matter, but I like how the eye contact draws you and me closer to one another in the context of spiritual connection. It's nice to have that sense of bonding. Of course, it can feel strange, and so we avert our gaze. I feel that way sometimes too. It's just easier to close my eyes or easier to look away. And I see that in many of us. So utilizing duchanan in our own time has a way of reminding us about our ancient past. But Birkat Kohanim also serves as an all-purpose blessing for us in our own lives, connecting us with numerous aspects about our lives. Now consider for a moment the enduring wisdom of the great Rashi, an 11th century commentator from France. Here we see how the great commentator translates each aspect of the Birkat Kohanim. When we say, Yivarechecha, may God bless you, the hope here, according to Rashi, is that our property increase. When God says, or when we say, when the priest says, Yishmerecha, may God keep you, we're asking God to keep us from evil. And when we say, Ya'er panav elecha v'chuneka, may God deal kindly and graciously with you, we are hoping that God will bestow upon us gifts of wisdom and of kindness. And finally, Sadonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, may God's spirit fill us and lift us and lead us to peace. We are praying, and this is very important actually, we are praying that God suppress the divine anger enough to recognize that we are human beings, and despite our enormous capacity for good, sometimes we frustrate. Sometimes we fall short. From God's perspective, maybe from our own perspective, given the perspective of this weekend overall, we often fall short, not just sometimes, right? We hope God will not be so angry that we have no space to grow and evolve and improve. This, by the way, is the danger with human anger. However righteous, however powerful, however necessary, however legitimate and authentic, if we're not careful, we'll be too angry, and we'll sustain things like violence. We'll sustain our incapacity to listen and to grow. We have to find enough space, not to suppress our anger, but to express it in a way that lends not to greater division, but towards reconciliation. This is a conversation we need to have over and over again. We'll be talking about it until we get it, and then beyond that. So, when we pray the Birkat Kohanim, we hope for things that we value, right? Like material abundance, like safety and security, like powerful human assets, like chokhmah, wisdom, or chesed, kindness. And we hope for a loving spirit from God, one that tempers divine judgment and anger when we mess up and gives us enough space to grow and evolve and change and seek forgiveness and get woke. So I've been wondering, Chevre, how we might shift our Birkat Kohanim in our own time. Seems to me that in many ways it remains relevant, but how would we modify this Birkat Kohanim to meet the moral challenges of our day, this very day in which we are living? How might we alter it as a summons to heal the bleeding soul of our nation and the brokenness of our world? Well, here's how I might translate the various aspects of Birkat Kohanim. Yivarechecha, may God bless you. May God bless us all, not only with material abundance, but with the courage to confront economic inequality and entitlement. Vishmerecha, may God keep you. May God guard you and me and all people from the evils that we bring on ourselves, like racism and all other forms of prejudice and bigotry. Ya'er panav elecha v'chuneka, may God deal kindly and graciously with you and me and all people. May God inspire us with the gift of wisdom, culled from discernment of simple to complex paths to reconciliation. And may that kindness also lead to the gift of chesed, accompanied by humility and respect and patience and resilience and the capacity to pay attention to the fact that we are all created b'tselem Elohim. We are all full of intrinsic worth, no matter what makes us similar, no matter what makes us different. And finally, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's Spirit fill us all and lift us all and lead us all to a place of peace. May God give us the space for real anger. Let God help us be angry enough not to be silent, angry enough not to stand idly by, angry enough to rebuke and reproach and reject, but not too angry to shame just to shame. And may God make us angry enough to effect real change, angry enough not to stop being angry till our world is whole. Indeed, the road to peace is sometimes paved with righteous anger. But the road to peace must also be paved with the power of reconciliation, which is built on things like mutual blessing and mutual effort towards keeping one another, no matter how we manifest in life, no matter how similar or different we are. Reconciliation, like mourning the loss of those killed by brutal violence at the hands of some police officers, right? Reconciliation, like building trust, that is very difficult when we've lived with racism for so long and allowed it to just not only fester, but to ruin lives. Reconciliation, like letting our emotional guard down or like taking moral risks, all take time. And will be practiced by each and every one of us, both in similar and different ways. Absolutely essential for us as we pursue not only righteous anger, but the destination of reconciliation, that we do so with a sense, not only of purpose, but that as long as we're in the fight, as long as we stay in the fight, as long as we struggle on, there's enough space on this road to reconciliation, propelled by righteous anger. There is enough space for us to find our unique ways of making it work and getting to the destination of a world made more whole. And so I pray that we summon a deep reservoir of empathy and perseverance, and may that reservoir overflow our hearts. And may God bless us, and may God keep us, and may God smile upon us, and may God be gracious to us, and may God inspire us toward a life of shalom, of peace, and of shlemut, of wholeness. Shabbat shalom. So we continue this meditation of shlemut, of wholeness. And in doing so, we recognize there are those in our midst who are struggling with illness. Could be a recent illness. It could be a COVID-related illness. It could be a long-term illness. It could be a terminal illness. Whatever the case, our role here as blessers in life, right? We have the capacity to do duchanan, to do the Birkat Kohanim. And just as God can bless us and keep us, we can bless and keep each other. And so the Mishaberach is just such a reflection of that wonderful and beautiful capacity. So let us summon our compassion and our empathy and our love for the following people and anybody else in need of healing. Noreen Alper, Tanya Barliant, Teresa Busher, David Burchett, Fega Sora Bachaya, Linda Danielson, Dr. Joseph Fair, Francine Fields, Lana Fields, Fernando Freddy Garcia, Carter Glass, Don Grandolfo, Mimi Harris, Dr. Karen Hawk, Werner Hyman, Jane Herron, Priscilla Hill, Walter Ivy, Harold Katz, Kate Kelly, Molly Klee, Anne-Marie Kuleza, Robert Langfelder, Holly Lipschultz, Roy Lloyd, Jackie Blevins Manning, Stephen Martinez, Gerald Marks, Richard MacArthur, Stephen Melnick, Deet Meserve, Deborah Miller, Jimmy Miller, Scott Montgomery, Moshe Ben Chava Venatan, Jordan Ehrenberg, Nicole Newcomb, Larry O'Neill, Don Olson, Sarah Payton, Mark Perlman, Richard Price, Leah Radinsky, Jamie Raffleson, Alan Sager, Kristen Rouse Skinner, Betty Rudolph, Maria Sklyanskaya, Linda Stahl, Tali Stein, Kirk Stokes, Michael Van Buren, Virginia Wharton, Nachum Feivel Ben Gedalia Masha. Any additions or corrections?
Yes. Additional names from our congregation include Bonnie Pearlstein, Tracy Asher, Stuart and Terry Epstein, Gregory Sklavos, Phil Goldstucker, Becky Hanscom, Barry Rappaport, Roby Wayne, Allison Good, Bonnie Fields Leibovich, Debbie Watts, Carmen Villa, Tina Artega, and Michael Ferrara.
Refuah Shlema, renewal body and spirit to one and to all.
I beg your pardon.
So Chevre, we continue with the Haftorah, which is from the book of Judges, and it pertains to Samson, the mighty Samson, the Nazarite, who lived a life of vows to live in a healthy and clean way, eschewing things like alcohol, letting his hair grow very beautifully, and then losing all his strength when his hair was cut. And he's a famous character of commitment and justice. And, you know, it's interesting how he lost his sense of strength when he lost his hair. It's as if somehow something vulnerable was exposed in him. And we might be living in times where, as the veil gets cut away, right? And we are thrust into a reality that maybe we have lived ignorantly of, or with less attention to, or somehow less sensitively about. Perhaps we feel a little weakened. But there's power ultimately in that vulnerability, as we chatted last night about the power of vulnerability ultimately to summon the anava, the humility required to grow. It's not always an act of great Herculean strength. Sometimes the heroism that we learned about last night in the context of our teaching, Maya Angelou's wisdom in particular. So sometimes just having a good idea how to be a mensch, do some basic empathetic, loving acts doesn't require tremendous strength, just requires one, intentionality, and one, just the strength to follow through, right? So I say that as we think about Samson, who dedicated his life to pursuing justice, I don't want us to get the wrong idea that if somehow we are less strong than we feel a day ago or a week ago or whatever, that our strength actually comes in our vulnerability, and our ability to be honest with ourselves and others and to receive honest feedback. So there's strength in that. So let us bless. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nviim tovim ritzav v'divrehem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai abocher b'torah ובמשה עבדו, ובישראל עמו, ובנביאי האמת והצדק. ויהי איש אחד מצרעה, ממשפחת חדני, ושמו מנוח, ואשתו עקרה ולא ילדה. וירא מלאך אדוני אל האישה, ויאמר אליך, הננה, את עקרה ולא ילדת, והרית וילדת בן, ואתה השומרי נא, ואל תשתי יין, ושכר, ואל תאכלי כל טמא, כי הנך הרע וילדת בן, ומורא לא יעלה על ראשו, כי נזיר אלוהים יהיה הנער מן הבטן, והוא יחל להושיע את ישראל מיד פלישתים. There was a certain man from Zorah, of the stock of Dan, whose name was Manoach. His wife was barren and had borne no children. An angel of the Eternal appeared to the woman and said to her, "You are barren and have borne no children, but you shall conceive and bear a son. Now be careful not to drink wine or any other intoxicant, or to eat anything unclean, for you are going to conceive and bear a son. Let no razor touch his head, for the boy is to be a Nazarite to God from the womb on. He shall be the first to deliver Israel from the Philistines." And we continue with the blessing after. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzor kol haolamim tzadik b'chol hadorot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh hamdaber u'mkayem shekol devarav emet v'tzedek al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al anvim ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu liktusha v'limnucha לכבוד ולתפארת. על הכל אדוני אלוהינו, אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך, יתברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
We invite you to rise, either spiritually or physically, for the Aleinu. Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו כחור המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Reading The Last Moment by Alden Soloby. What if this is the last moment of creation? The last moment we have to share our joy, our hope, our love. What if this is the last moment with you on earth? the last chance to feel your breath, your heart, your surrender when you depart. The world will remain full of mystery and wonder. What if this is the last moment with me on earth? The last chance to offer my hand, my smile, my strength when I depart. The world will remain full of glory and holiness. What if this is the last moment we have together, the only chance we have to share our awe, our power, our peace? When we say goodbye, the world will remain. The sky will continue to fill with radiance. The core of the earth will still burn, molten hot with passion for living. And light from the edge of the universe, light from the day when God spoke and the world came to be, will reach my face and will warm your hearts. In this spirit, we remember those who have died in recent weeks. George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Manuel Ellis, Regina Korchinski-Paquette, Tony McDade, Breonna Taylor. We also remember those who have died within the last month. Bertha G. Dalton, Charlotte Dubin, Eugene Pavlon, John Tremaine Clay. In addition, we observed the following Yahrzeit of Jacob Applebaum, Julian L. Bloom, Gail Cairo, Esther G. Chait, Jeffrey Davis, Natalie Feldman, Harriet Grant, Abe Goldstein, Robert Gordon, Otto Grunberg, Louis Hausman, Bertha Hirsch, Harry Isbitz, Rose Jacobs, Doris Shevlin Jacobson, Beatrice Kessler, Nancy Klein, Elaine Manilow, Leon Malamed, Doris Perlstein, Winifred Plasofsky, Ann Gitter-Polsky, Nelise Child Rosenfeld, Howard M. Seidner, Robert Smolin, Rose W. Tausig, Adolf Weinstein. Additions, corrections, repronunciations.
An additional name from our congregation, Leo Jacoal.
Zichronam Levacha, may the memories of all these souls be for a blessing. And let's do whatever we can to make their lives and losses matter. And to those who have died at the hands of injustice and or racism, let us do our part to fight for a better world on their behalf, on our own behalf. And we rise in body or spirit for the Kaddish. Yitgadal, Bidkadash, Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Divrach Rute V'yamlich Malchute, B'chayachon of Yomechon, of Chayedechol Beit Yisrael, Bagala Vizman Kariv, Emru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach, Le'olam Almei Almaya, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitma'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shmei Rekudsha, Barichu. Le'la min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechmata, tamiran be'alma be'meru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, chayim aleinu ve'al Yisrael be'meru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, u'ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al Yisrael be'meru, Amen. May the one who makes peace in the heavens bring peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And we say, Amen. Everett, before our closing song, I just wanted to point out the following, and we're working on the plan, but last night's experience with our ECRA community was very powerful. This is no surprise, but as we mentioned last night, and we've said in numerous ways today, these powerful moments of prayer and recognition are important, but they are catalysts to a pathway. They are trailblazers, right? We have work to do on a regular basis to improve the world in which we live. And as it relates to racism, anti-racism, you're not going to come close to finishing the job in simply the realm of prayer. So we need to have a regular practice. To that end, we're going to be working on a prayer group that will give us a daily effort to kind of gather, not only to pray, but to consider action, and then to poise ourselves as a religious community, greater religious community, to act on our intentions, right? We want to be intentional, like Maya Angelou calls, but we want to even be more than that. Because if we're really going to be heroic, we have to act on the intentions. Otherwise, they're just intentions. So this prayer circle will be an intentionality circle and an action circle, ultimately, in an ecumenical, multi-faith sort of way. So we're trying really hard to get it up and running. Everything's moving at rapid pace, just like last night. We had to work very fast to get ready as we are trying to respond to a life that we probably should have responded a long time ago about. But here we are, ready to take action. So let us move forward, and we'll keep you posted on that opportunity. It'll be daily for a month, and then we'll see what happens after that. And it will be co-led by clergy, lay people in the ECRA community. So we'll look forward to seeing you there. We'll give you the information soon. Anything else, Cantor, Leah?
Visit us virtually. All sorts of wonderful offerings there. 5959 online, where you are right now.
Virtual Village.
I'll just share one more item. This is just this afternoon until 3 p.m. Care for Real, one of our partners in the neighborhood, is doing a community support drive. And it's until 3 p.m. at the Ismaili Center, which is near the synagogue. Hygiene products, household cleaning items, non-perishable food items. You can find out more information on our Facebook page. But Care for Real is one of our important partners in doing justice in Edgewater, and a lot of our neighbors have a lot of need these days. So I wanted to make sure that folks saw this, even though it's short notice.
Indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Cantor Friedman, Leah Jones, everybody in our virtual village. Ani ve'ata nishaneh et ha'olam. You and I together will change the world. Ani ve'ata nishaneh et ha'olam. אני ואתה, אז יבואו כולם. אמרו את זה קודם, לפניי זה לא משנה. אני ואתה נשנה את העולם. אני ואתה ננסה מההתחלה. יהיה לנו רע, אין דבר, זה לא נורא. אמרו את זה קודם, לפניי זה לא משנה. אני ואתה נשנה את העולם. אני ואתה נשנה את העולם. We rise in body and or spirit, or in the custom that we introduced yesterday, we can also kneel if there is a point of humility that you want to reach or some point of protest that you want to suggest. I will make it easy for you to choose that. Cantor, you decide what you want to do. It's totally up to you. I'm going to get down here and help with this blessing. We ready?
Ready.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May Adonai bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'huneka.
May God smile upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha. Shalom.
May God lift up God's face to you. May God shine in you and shine through you and make you agents of peace, that God might bless you with more wholeness.
Amen.
Son.
Stay in the fight, everybody. Struggle onward.
And put on some orange. Rack, Illinois has made this orange Shabbat so that we might remember the victims of gun violence and take a stand.
Thank you, Cantor. Be well, all. We'll see you soon. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Bye-bye.